All right, what's up, everybody? I actually don't have anybody on right this second, but since this video is going to get recorded and will be um, on YouTube, I figure I'll go ahead and start talking. So I got a message on Messenger from a friend of mine, and it said, "Is this you in the video?" And I clicked on it, and it sent me to some link or something like trying to get me to buy an app, which I wasn't gonna do. So I messaged my friend back and I said, "Hey, this thing is telling me to buy this app." And he goes, "He was hacked." And so I'm like, shit. So that was this morning and nothing happened all day. So I thought everything was cool. And then Rapid Transit went on live just a little while ago. And as I was watching his live, my phone started blowing up. Basically, everybody was saying the same thing I was saying. They're like, "Hey, what's this link? I can't open the link or whatever." And I'm like, shit. So it got into my shit, and it's basically sending it out to everybody that is I'm friended on in Messenger. So if you got something from me, or you got anybody, if you got it from anybody and it says something like, "Is this you in the video?" Number one, don't open it. If you did click it and you did open it, you got to change your password in Facebook immediately. So I think what happened was they were just waiting. Maybe they thought I was in bed asleep, and they jumped in and started hacking onto my Facebook page or account, and started sending shit out. So I'm going to show you what I did to fix it. So if you go on to your, sorry, I'm trying to look at this. Okay, you go onto your Facebook account, right? And then in the lower corner right here, if you click that, then your account should look something like that. And then scroll down till you see settings and privacy. Click on that. And then what's gonna pop below it is, it'll say settings. See that? So click on that. All right. And then it's going to say right here, password and security. So then click that. And then it's going to show right here, it's going to show where you're logged in. So I wish I recorded it, but when I clicked on this, see all. Sorry. I clicked on see all. And this was like blown up, like all the way down, like you had to scroll. And it was like, it showed, so right now, these three are Wildemar, which is where I live, so I know that's for me. But it was showing Los Angeles and Mumbai and like a whole bunch of other places, and I'm like, holy shit. So then at the bottom of this, if you click log out, then you'll log out of everything, all right? And then go back one page, and then click log in, change your password. And then you're gonna basically put in your old password and then make a new password, confirm it, and then update password, and then boom. Then you'll be good. All right. So hopefully you guys are able to catch this quick, change your Facebook password, and prevent them from getting into your shit. So the videos I saw on YouTube about this is like they get into all your personal stuff and they're just stealing data and information. And then they could do stuff like it was suggesting, like trying to blackmail you, like, "Oh, we got a bunch of your nude photos, we're going to spread it all over the internet. You better give us some money," or something to that effect. So obviously if you get anything like that, just freaking ignore it. But make sure you change your password right away. All right. So Let's see. We've got 4 people on. What's up, King Eric? How's it going, man? Yeah, hackers suck. Well, that sucked. Mopar Nut 62 says, well, that sucks. Eric says, you've got a lot of notifications you've not checked. Yeah. By the way, great shirt, Mopar Nut. Thank you. It's my Chris Albrecht Talking Mopars, his t-shirt, Tin Grill, Low Life. And let's see, Mechanic Kid, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? And then reminds me of Miller logo. Yeah, I think it's like light beer. He's got another one that says High Life also. I think that's what the original Miller said, like High Light or High Life. But anyways, all right. So there's only 5 of you guys. We got all that hacking crap out of the way. Let's talk some Mopars. Let's go ahead and talk some Mopar stuff. So I'll set it off with, I worked on the charger today. I got the wheels on the car. So the next video should be pretty cool because it's going to have eye candy. I've got the car down on wheels and tires, and man, it looks good. It looks real good. So I can't wait to put that video out. I've got a few more things I got to do to it, editing wise and stuff. But you guys are lucky because you're going to be the first to see this. So I had t-shirts made, right? And while everybody else in the country's asleep and they didn't get to see this, Mopar Nut never sleeps, by the way. I know this. But you guys are going to get to see my t-shirts I had made. So this is the front. Johnny Mopar. By the way, are you seeing this backwards or is this forward? Because on my screen, it's all backwards. Thank you, Eric. Thanks, Mopar Nut. If you think the front is cool, check out the back. So we got the 68 Charger, laying some stripes. That license plate number is actually the license plate number on the blue Charger. So, and Chris Albrecht from Talking Mopar says, I always say bitchin'. I don't know if I do or not. I didn't notice it. I know I say it, but I don't know I say it a lot. And then I got on one of their lives they were doing, and I got on late, so they're already talking. And I guess they were talking about making a drinking game. Every time I say bitchin', they would have to drink. And then at the end, Matt was saying, man, that would have been the worst drinking game ever because that particular live, I didn't say bitchin' not one time. So anyways, so I got to figure out like shipping and stuff and try to come up with a price for you guys. Like on average, like the smalls and the mediums are probably going to be like, I'm going to try to sell them for like $15 and then a large and above like $20, but I have to add in shipping on top of that. So it'll probably be like a $25 to $27 shirt is like if you're doing a large to, I've got shirts all the way up to 5X. I've only got 5 5Xs and 5 4Xs. And one of the 5 5Xs is spoken for. So once those are gone, that's it. But yeah, those will be a little bit more pricey. And I don't know. I was trying to look up the envelopes online, and it looks like they're like $7. So about the size to get one T-shirt in. So it might be potentially like $27 for the larger shirts. $22. Is that right? Yeah, $22 for the smallest shirts. So I don't know. Try to figure all that out. Hopefully you guys like it, and hopefully some of you guys will buy some. So okay, back to the comments. Eric says, "Cool shirt. Looks forward to me." All right, cool. Thanks, Eric. And then Mopar Nut also says, "Right way." Eric says, "Sweet." Mopar Nut says 68. Eric says, love the back of the Charger. Thank you. I'm pretty stoked with the shirt. I like it a lot. Eric has a question for us, or for me. Have you ever seen a wing car in person? Man, good question. You know, I'm full of stories, so I have a story. I was probably around 10 to 12 years old, and we were in my dad's van. He had a 76 Dodge van, a shorty. We camped in it. Like, we went everywhere in that van. My growing up, my childhood, there was basically three main vehicles we had. It was the 76 Dodge van, it was yellow, my mom's 72 Charger, and I think it's a 73 Mazda pickup. So we're in the van, you know, and it has the little, what are the little windows called on the side? It's got those little side windows, but the rest is panels, so you can't see. So I'm in the passenger seat. My dad's driving, and he goes, watch this. And I'm like, what? You know, trying to figure out what's going on, because he was all cryptic about it. And dude, you know, we're in the slow lane, and two wing cars went by. It was so long ago, I couldn't tell you if they were Daytonas or if they were Superbirds, but it was just, I mean, they were humming, but they weren't like as fast as they could go. They were just clicking faster than everybody else. Just, I mean, and they were freaking bad, dude. I can't describe to you what it's like seeing those cars in life, like on the freeway. Because, you know, I've seen tons of them in car shows and stuff like that, right? And that's one thing, and they're cool. But when you're going down the freeway and those cars click by, it's like seeing a UFO flying by at ground level. You're just like blown away. You know, you're just like, holy shit, what did I just see? And nobody will believe you. And then I saw one another time on the road. I had my high school car, my 68 Charger. I don't know if I talked about this part much, but when I did talk about it a little bit. When I bought that car, the front was wiped out really bad. And I went to a junkyard. There was this really cool junkyard. Oh man, I don't think it was on actual Cherry Street. The exit was Cherry Street off the 10 freeway, I think. Well, anyways, they had they always had nice old cars, and they had 370 Chargers in there back then. So this would have been the early 90s. Maybe, I don't know, actually, it would have been the late 80s. It would have been late 80s, because I graduated, in 90. So we're probably talking like 88, 89. I was too young to go into the junkyards, but, you know, my dad would take me in, and he would just say, just play it cool. You know, don't say nothing. And they would just assume you're old enough. You give your $1 to get in the boneyard, and you could get in. But anyway, so I had a 70 front clip on my 68 Charger. And I remember driving down the road, and this yellow lemon. Well, what is the Plymouth yellow? I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, like lemon twist, Superbird is coming in the opposite direction. And I'm just like, holy shit, you know, like my jaw's hitting the ground, right? And the car's coming by, and he saw me, and he basically like waved to me, you know. And I was in such awe. I was like that geeky nerd, right? I'm like, he's waving to me, you know. And he went by. So pretty sweet. And I've seen a ton of them in car shows and stuff like that. So, all right. So let me see if I can find my place. Thanks for asking the question, Eric. Moparnet says, going 3X, I'm fat. That's what I always wait. Oh, dude, I'm glad you said that. Okay, so check this out. Here's my deal. I'm a big guy too, all right? Sometimes I can get away with a 2X shirt, but here's the problem. I always go with a 3X because it's a little bit longer. It's about 2 inches longer than a 2X shirt. So if I get a 2X, you wash it one time, and then boom, man, your belly's showing on one end, and your freaking plumber's crack is showing on the other end, right? which pisses me off. It drives me crazy. So I always get 3X. But depending on the shirt brand or, variation in the process when they trim them and stuff like that, even the 3Xs will shrink a little bit, and some of them will be so freaking close to my belt line. You bend over and you're showing plumber's crack. I hate it. So when I had these shirts made, they're actually they're actually called X. Like, this is a 2X shirt. It's 2XLT. These are actually long shirts. So from the sizes large on up, these shirts are 2 inches longer than what you would traditionally get in a regular, like if you got like this one, if you got a 2X, regular 2X, and you put this shirt next to that 2X, this shirt's going to be 2 inches longer than that. So that solves the plumber's crack problem for some of us. So yeah, dude, you're gonna, hopefully you like the shirt. The only thing is it's white, it's gonna get dirty easy. So I think the next, if these all sell out good, I'll do it again, and I think maybe the next one I'll do in black or blue or something. I'll change it up somehow. So that way we all know if you're wearing a white one, you guys were the first to get one. Let's see. All right, Mopar nut. It's all cool. I'm get one for sure. All right, cool, Mopar nut. Thank you, Eric. Those vans are cool. Yeah, dude. Man, that van ended with a sad story. It sucks too because the transmission was going out. I actually rebuilt a transmission, put it in that van, and the vans and the trucks are notorious for cracking on the frame where the steering box is, and I think the van did the same thing. My dad ended up bought another van, but it was a long one, and it was a 72, so it had the older grill, and he drove that one forever. That one had a 360, so it actually had better torque and it had better pulling power and stuff. And he drove the piss out of both of those vans, but in the end, I wish I took it in, but I just didn't, man. It was like I had so much shit going on and so many cars and not enough room. And even though the vans are really cool, it's like I was more focused on cars, and I just wasn't going to spend time on a van. The motor was tired on it. It needed a fresh motor. But long story short, unfortunately, where my dad lives, they're kind of in a rural area. For California, it's like a crowded rural area, and the code enforcement comes through there all the time, and they were giving him a bunch of shit, and he had to get rid of them. So they got scrapped out. They went to the boneyard. Okay. Eric says opera window. I don't know, maybe. I want to say Chris calls it a portal window, like a submarine kind of, My dad's was just round. I know some of them like pentastarred and are big glass and stuff like that. I also saw there was actually one where my parents lived when I was in high school. I think it might have been a little bit longer, not a shorty, and it had a big window in the back, but it was cool. I don't know if you guys remember the first Star Wars lunchbox, like all black with the X-Wing fighter and a TIE fighter on it. They had that mural on the side of the van. The van was black and it had the Star Wars stuff on it. It looked badass. I always thought about knocking, but I didn't. I never did. Let's see. Eric says that would have been awesome to see 2 wing cars blow by. Dude, it was. It's seared. It's seared in here, man. So it was so cool. Another little tangent story. This would have been, I think it was around 96-ish or something like that. Mid 90s, I think, maybe early 90s. I don't know. But a friend, they did a Mopar car show in Las Vegas, and my buddy and I went. And it was before the Mopars at the Strip, so it wasn't those guys. It was a totally different group of people putting on the show, and it was a pretty cool show. There was a lot of like really nice restored cars there, Hemi cars and stuff. But I remember there was 3 Superbirds there, and they were all like nicely restored, or they were nice survivor original condition. I don't know. They were just really nice. And I think 2 of them were for sale, and the price tag on them was $30,000 a piece. It's like, man, and I mean, back then, 30 grand was just like unbelievable money. There's no way I could even have access to 30 grand, but shit, if you did, you could have bought one for 30 grand. Let's see. Eric says, back in the day, dealerships couldn't give the wing cars away. This is true. If you guys go to, I think it's called Cars and Barns or something like that, like the web page, not a Facebook page, but a actual website. And it'll show a bunch of cars in them. Like there's Mopar, Chevy, Ford, whatever. Go into the Mopar one. I think there's another folder like wing cars. There's I believe it was white. It was a 70 Roadrunner. This is cool because there's these pictures, and I don't know when these pictures were taken. It could have been from the 80s or something. But this guy found this Roadrunner for sale. Excuse me. He goes and looks at the car, and holy shit, the A-pillars have that chrome trim on them. It's vinyl top. The back window is, flat. It's not W-shaped. And so long story short, it was actually a Superbird. And the theory is that the dealership couldn't sell it, so they took the wing off, took the front clip off, put a Roadrunner front clip on the car, and sold it as a Roadrunner. And so this car was running around, the 70s as a Roadrunner, and then till this guy found it. And so I don't know if the car had been restored, or I assume it has been, probably turned back into a Superbird. But it's crazy that stuff happened. Let's see. Mopar Nut says, it, chubby guy, problems. Yeah, exactly. Eric says, I had a 69 Newport 383. Are you a fan of the land yachts? Am I? Well, Eric, let me tell you something. I went through a large C-body phase. Now, you're going to hate me, but I've actually killed a lot of C-bodies because, number one, they were dirt cheap, and number two, most of them had 440s in them. I mean, if not a 440, a big block. So I bought a bunch of them for between $100, $200, $500. Pull the 440 out, junk the car. Most of them are not like really cool ones. My first car was a 70. I think it was a Newport. Could have been a New Yorker. I don't know. Had a 383 as a 4-door. Cool car. I wish I hadn't, but that was my first car, and I just kind of took it apart just to see how it worked. But one of my all-time favorite cars, which is the C-body, I didn't junk out. It was the C-body that kind of turned me on to driving them, not just taking their 440s away, was a 71 Polara, but it was actually a 360 two-barrel car. It's down and sorry if some of you guys might have already heard this story, so I might bore you, but long story short, I think I was taking apart the Super B. I was taking apart my Coronet. This was when I had the oil leak issue. Anyway, I needed another set of wheels. So I found this car down in San Diego. It's a 71 Polara. It was a vinyl top car, so the vinyl top was gone, and it had rust, really bad rust on the roof. And the guy was asking $900 for it. So I went down there with $600, and I looked at the car and offered him $600, and he took it. So it's cool. And I just told this story on, I think, the last live, wasn't it? Yeah. So I won't go into any details, but it had the smoking real bad, blah blah blah. But the car was super cool, man. And I lowered it. I black primered the car. once I fixed the problem with it smoking so bad, um, it was a great car. I freaking loved that car. I put some stock Steely wheels on it, dog dish caps on it, and yeah, I just rolled that bad boy. I'm gonna see if I could find. I think I have a picture of it on my Facebook page. So if I find a picture of it, I'll show it to you real quick. Hopefully, this is kind of the sucky thing about doing this yourself is, it's like if there's other people on here, which we can't do with these lives. I've got to get StreamYard or something, but you could get if you get other people talking like, hey, you guys talk well we do this. Let's see if I don't know how good that's gonna be, but that was my Polera. I freaking love that car, dude. And I think it was 2-inch blocks in the back, turn the torsion bars down. Look at that. There's that charger I paid, a 68 charger I paid $300 for. And there's my high school 68 charger in the driveway. But yeah, love that car. So when I got a job in San Diego and I was driving out to San Diego and back all the time, and it's, if you're familiar with the 15 freeway between Temecula and San Diego, the highway's like it's like going downhill and then going uphill and downhill and going uphill. I would always have that thing, man. Just be doing like gosh, 120. I'd hit it 120 sometimes. It had really tall freeway gears, just going downhill and then going uphill. Like the weight of the car would pull it down to doing like 90 miles an hour. And I would always slow down for the on ramps. So if there was a cop there, I didn't, I'd go through it slow. But yeah, it was a cool car. Love C bodies, dude. C bodies are the shit, especially if they got a big block. Okay. Let's see. Mopar Nut says, no, it's not getting dirty because I'm not working on the car with it on. Oh, he's talking about wearing the shirt. Okay, Southern Oklahoma Mopar says, I can't sleep. Mopar Nut says, I had a Grand Fury and two 78 New Yorkers. I want a 73 Grand Fury. Hard to find now, or a C-body wagon. 73 Grand Fury. I'm trying to think of what that looks like. Does that kind of have it's kind of like like where the grill is and the headlight, it's a 4 headlight and it's kind of molded together. That's probably not a very good description. Or a C-body wagon. I think my dad had we never had it running. I think it was a 72. It kind of has looks like a 70 Super B grill, but it's all one big gigantic bumper station wagon one time, the 400 in it. That thing was cool. I wish we still had it. Eric says, cool cars, Mopar Nut. I want an 80s Diplomat with a 318. I always wanted one of those too. I always wanted to put, the steel wheels, dog dish caps, lower it, make it look like an ex-cop car. I think it would be awesome. Because in my day, in the late 80s and the 90s, those cars were the cop cars. You always knew them. It was like those and the Caprices, and they were very similar to each other, except the Caprice was a bigger car. So when you saw those headlights in your rearview mirror, you knew it was the cop. Let's see. Eric says, I'd love to find a Hearst 300, big bucks now. Yeah, I actually have a friend that had 2 of them. And ironically, he thought they looked too gaudy, so he wasn't into them that much, and he ended up selling them. And I think he sold, like, they needed to be restored and stuff, but I think one of them was 10 grand. Maybe he got a little more for the other one. This was probably, I don't know, 8 years ago or so. But bitchin' cars, man. Big old tuna boats. But they had a big 440 in them, and they looked badass. I love the wing on the back, Let's see. Southern Oklahoma says, do you think we could make the messenger group chat an official Mopar chat for questions, chatting, researching, etc.? Probably should start a new one. Maybe, man, it'd be kind of a big hassle, but like, because I have, it's mostly Mopar people I have in there, but there's a few people that are not Mopar people. Although the one that's going right now, everybody was posting. So, um, what Oklahoma is referring to is I basically made a message and clicked everybody in my messenger and sent out a message like, hey, watch out. I was hacked, right? Just trying to give everybody a warning. And most everybody in there's a Mopar person. And so everybody started throwing their Mopar pictures of their Mopars and stuff like that. It actually turned into something really cool, which was unexpected and surprising. So yeah, I think we just continue on that one because I noticed that some people were leaving the group. So I think if you don't like, like say somebody just logged in right now and they're like, holy shit, there's probably 200 messages in there. They can just leave the group. And then so if we keep posting pictures in there, it won't affect them because they're not going to see it because they already left the group. So yeah, I think keep the ball rolling if you want. Let's see. It's kind of weird, huh? Like it kind of shows there's a gap somewhere. Like you have Instagram, which is supposed to be like, I don't know, like it doesn't have the ability for people to kind of like go into a group together and hang out together. It's all like just people throwing stuff and you're just seeing it skimming on, I mean, Facebook's kind of got it with if you start a page or a group and you get everybody to kind of jump in there. So I don't know, maybe you could create a Facebook page for it. But there's like so many Facebook pages. So trying to get everybody drawn into one location and then get them to stay, I don't know, it could be hard. Let's see. Mopar Nut says StreamYard. Yeah, I need to do that. Eric says players are cool. Definitely cool, man. I absolutely love that car. I love that car so much. Okay, so I got rear-ended in that car twice, and after the second crash, like the car was freaking totaled. I mean, it was just junked, and the motor started running like crap. I sold it to a guy because the 71s, the 360s, 71 was the first year for the 360. And they have a high nickel content and they had thick cylinder walls. So the drag guys like those motors because you can punch the cylinders out really big on them and they're still strong. So the guy that bought that car bought it for the 360 to do just that. Anyway, I ended up buying after the Polara years later, my same buddy that had the Hearst cars, he's got a ton of C-bodies, by the way. I bought a 70 Monaco off of him. That's my brown car. It was originally burnt orange, which I wish, if it was burnt orange still, I probably would have kept it, but I ended up selling it. It went to Germany. All right, so Eric says, tech question. The 383 in the Newport bent some push rods. Do you think it could have been a stuck lifter? It's definitely possible, man. It could be your valves are floating, if you're running it really hard and maybe the springs are just kind of giving up the ghost and they're floating. That would have been the piston hitting the valve, which is not good. And then that could have hit your push rods. I guess the question I have is everything in the motor like stock? Like, are those push rods stock? Did you have machine work done to the motor? Because something else that can happen is if the motor was rebuilt, they could have decked the block, could have decked the heads, which is basically shaving a surface off. When you do that, you're lowering the heads onto, closer to the pistons, and the push rods are basically getting, too long. So what you have to do is if and there's a pretty big tolerance in there. want to say, oh man, what was it? I did a lifter video on this, and I forget the tolerance now. It was a lot though. 60 thousandths, 40 to 60 thousandths. I can't remember. So it was pretty wide. So I can't imagine you having that big of an issue, even if that happened. But if you did have something like that happen, like they did deck the block in the heads and they shaved a lot off and your push rods got too long, assuming these are stock original push rods, you could try going, depending on the gasket you used, like say you put in like a stock steel gaskets, well, they're pretty thin. You can run a Felpro, which is about 40 thousandths thick, and kind of help bring the heads back up and out. It'll drop your compression ratio, but then your push rods will go back to being within tolerance better. So yeah, I don't know if that helps, Eric, but let's see. Southern Oklahoma Mopar is definitely a possibility. So I think he was referring to Eric's question. But yeah, if it was a stuck lifter, more than likely it would have just bent one push rod. So I guess that's the next question. Did you bend one push rod or did you bend a bunch of push rods? Eric says, thank you, Oklahoma. Mopar nut. King, King, he's saying to King Eric, very possible stuck lifter. Okay, so he says that too. Bad Tree says USOB. Sorry, man. He was one of the suckers that clicked on the link like I did. So yeah, dude, if change your password. So if anybody's just now piping in, change your Facebook password immediately. And at the beginning of this video, I talk about how to find that in your Facebook settings, and you could see where you're logged in at. Like I was saying, I was logged in from Mumbai to Los Angeles to like all kinds of places that obviously I've never been logged in at. So you could basically unlog on everything and then change your password, and then you're good. As far as I know, there ain't any other repercussions, but you got to do that. Eric says, hi, Bad Tree. Bad Tree says, hey, King. Bad Tree says, only cool kids will stay. Mopar Nut says, Bad Tree, what's up? Just chilling. Yep, machining will throw things off. That's from Mopar Nut. Eric says, Bone Stock 383. I bought it off a guy for $500. It was minty until the push rods bent. Okay, so it sounds like multiple push rods. King, how long did it sit? Mopar, the old guy, dialed the car. Ted Evans, what's up, Ted? All I got was a message saying you were going live. Okay, well, if you see me on Messenger and there's a link, don't freaking click on it. Eric says, 1 rod was broken, 3 were bent. Holy shit. And Mopar Nut says, bad timing chain will bend push rods. You know what? Mopar Nut's probably hit the button. I think if it's an all original motor and it's got high mileage on it, depending on what year motor, some of the later model motors, like I want to say 72 and later, the gear on the camshaft actually had nylon, it's like molded teeth. And so when they got high mileage, the nylon would crack and break off, and then the chain would get super sloppy. So I think he hit that on the head. It's probably pull the timing chain cover off and have a look and see what it looks like. Be sure you get pictures, man. And like do you have your own YouTube channel, Eric? I have a bad habit of not checking when, I see all your guys' comments and stuff, and sometimes I'll go, oh, let me see if this guy's got a channel. And sometimes people do, and sometimes people don't. So I don't know if you do or not. But if you do, definitely take a video of that. That would be a good content. Or you can send pictures to Mopar Nut or I or somebody and post it. Okay, so let's see. American Muscle Maniac. What's going on, Ruben? I'm sorry, not Ruben. I don't. I'm not sure what your name is, American Muscle. Sorry about that, buddy. How are you? I'm good. Eric. Hi, American Muscle Maniac. Okay. Eric says it was a '69 Newport. So it probably doesn't have the nylon, but it doesn't mean the timing chain isn't loose. It could have still just had high mileage and got loose and knocked out your push rods. Ted says, I've seen those links before when people got hacked. I don't open links usually, but I will ask what it is first before I do. That is a damn good practice. I wish I'd done the same. Mopar Nut says, plastic nylon gears, Mopar bean counters. Yeah, well, I don't know that it's probably more expensive to actually put those on. The purpose was so that the engine was more quiet, especially for C bodies, right? I don't even know if all the cars got them. I think C bodies were the main ones that got them because it just made the engine sound more quiet, so more smooth. American Muscle says, hey, King, Eric, the greatest of all. Eric says, I have a small channel. Okay, cool. Well, I'd do a video, dude. Battery says 402 stroker in the crew cab dart wiped a cam. 18 miles old. Lifter stuck. Looks like bummer. No way, dude. So Rapid Transit was posting a live, and I somebody had mentioned your burnout video or something, and I earlier I saw it. It wasn't live, it was already old, but when I clicked on it, the video was gone. So they said you guys lost the video somehow. So that sucks. And dude, that sucks, man. 18 miles old and you lost the freaking cam. Ah, God, that's so frustrating. He just put it back together too, right? Unless this is from before. Maybe you lost the cam and then now it's all fixed. Hopefully that's what happened. Bad tree. Mopar Nut still skipped the teeth on the timing chain. Bad gear things happen. Yep. Panda. I escaped the mind through the gate by. All right. This guy is just a hacker. Panda's a hacker. Looks like. I wonder if there's a way I can like kick these guys off or something. Remove. I'm gonna remove his ass. Okay. Eric says, what the hell, Panda? Yeah, he's a fucking hacker. Ted, I think it was cheaper. You can't hear the timing chain. Oh. Maybe it was. I don't know. I mean, because the thing about the nylon gear is it's still cut with teeth on it, and then they embed it. It's like you're doing two processes instead of one. But, I don't know. Yeah, usually they do anything. It's cheaper, right? Mopar Nut, the nylon gears were also aluminum, not steel. Okay. American Muscle says, I'm still trying to get that 65 Plymouth Fury 3 down the road. I'm pretty sure I talked to you about it. 65 Plymouth Fury 3. I don't know if you did. I don't remember. You might have, but dude, I am like bombarded with Mopar stuff between Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Like, it's really hard for me to keep the story straight. So you could have. Trying to think. So 65, that one, I think 65 went C body, right? I think 63 and 4 Furies were B bodies. So that was the first year it got big, I believe. So what are you doing to it? Are you just putting it together? Bad Tree says, fat thumb button delete. Bad Tree, she's getting torn back apart, unfortunately. Damn. So, yeah, Dude, I know he just put that thing together and lost, so he just lost a cam. That sucks, dude. I'm freaking sorry about that. Oh, Panda says he's not a hacker. Goodbye, sense. I was sent from the future, but I lost my way. Now I'm stuck in the past. Okay, you're not a hacker, but what the hell? Uh, I already tried removing him, so I don't know what the hell. Maybe I'm just late. He's already removed. I don't know. American Muscle Maniac. I think it was about 4 months ago. You said something about it to you. You might have. Yeah, I mean, 4 months ago, probably long gone, dude. Mopar Nut says, I hit him for you, Johnny. Thank you. Battery Panda kept heading back. It sucks here. Eric says, Panda, this is for Mopar fans, not weirdo stuff. Mopar Nut looked like a hacker to me, so I took him out. All right, cool. Hey, cool. All right, man. Well, that's 45 minutes in. Anybody got anything burning they want to say? Probably going to call it if not. There's 7 of you. I think there was 4 or 5 of you. I'll show the shirt again, just for those that came in and might have missed the shirt. Doing shirts. Johnny Mopar on the front. And then that's the back. And they're 2 inches longer than your average shirt. So no plumber's crack problems. All right. Panda is still hacking. You can't get rid of me, but I will leave in my own volition. Farewell. Thanks, Panda. Eric says, thoughts on the 225 slant 6? I mean, it depends how you're asking the question or why you're asking the question. If you're at a crossroads, so let's say you're looking at a car to buy. You're looking at 2 A bodies. One of them has a slant 6 and one of them has a 318. Hands down, get the 318. Like, don't screw with slant 6. I mean, the slant 6 is getting to be kind of like an exotic. You know, it's hard to get parts for. I personally am not a fan of the slant 6, but I'm not going to knock them either. I mean, they're cool if you already have one and you got sentimental value or it's your daily driver, you know, you love the car, cool. Like, more power to you. But they don't make a ton of power, but they'll run forever and they, you know, get decent mileage. I had one, I've only owned one actually, and it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, but it wasn't just because of the motor. It was, a block over from where I used to live. There was a 71, a white 71 4-door Dart, with a green interior, and it had white painted steel wheels with the dog dish caps with the red circle on it, right? And I saw this car, and it was one of those things. Like, at first, it's like, okay, this is back when A bodies weren't worth what they are now, right? But it was like, it's an A body, and then it's like, it's kind of cool though, you know. And then so the dog dish caps, I think, did it for me, man. I love cars with dog dish caps and steel wheels, painted steel wheels, especially. So it's like every time I drive by and I'd see it and I'd see it and I'd see it, and I was like, God, it kept eating at me, and I had to go stop. So I stopped. It was the guy's mom's car. She was, you know, old, and I think she was the original owner of the car. This car was super clean, man. California car. No rust, just a little surface rust here and there, like around the back windows, and maybe the lower quarters was starting to bubble. I can't remember, but for the most part, a super solid car. It ran, and he was over it. You know, he wasn't going to do anything with it. So I think I bought it for it was kind of expensive. You know, I think I paid like 800 or 900 bucks for this thing. So I drug it home, and it was a 4-door. I don't know if I said that already, but so what I hated about it, I mean, it was cool because it's a 71. It's got, I like the front. I like 71s. The because it was a 4-door, I'm like 6 foot tall, and I would always hit my freaking head on the top. Like you open the door and you climb out, I always hit my head there. It's like that door opening is just too small on A bodies. Um, I don't think I'm gonna have that problem with a B body 4-door, but A bodies are tighter. So I didn't like it for that reason. And then the slant six just didn't make a lot of power. I mean, it was a cool cruiser car, but it didn't make a lot of power. So I ended up selling it. I think I sold it for like 1,200 bucks or something like that. Got rid of it. So I think that was a long answer for you, but I would say if you're out shopping for a car, lean towards a 318 or any V8. If you already own a slant six, sure, keep it, roll it, enjoy it. You know, if you like the car, I think it's a cool car. And there's a lot of people that love those slant sixes. I mean, you've probably listened to Uncle Tony's Garage. That guy, he freaking drives me nuts, man. This guy freaking worked on top fuel dragsters, Hemis, and you would think he'd be talking about that on his channel, but he doesn't. He talks about slant sixes, you know. So anyway, all right. So let's see. American Muscle, hey, gotta go to work on my truck. See you, Johnny. See you, American Muscle. Battery, and I have a video of the car running already with Nacho before Cam died. Man, God, that sucks. We won't do it tonight, but we need to have a video. We need to talk about like everybody's break-in procedure. What does everybody use for oil or additives? And like I have a certain formula I've been using, but it's kind of changed too. So I'm trying to think. When I broke in the Cornet, I think I used synthetic even for break-in, and it wasn't even break-in oil, I don't think. But it's still rolling. I'm lucky, but I haven't lost a cam in a long time. Okay. Panda just won't leave. Oh, I guess I already read that. Yeah, sorry. Ted says, 1 a.m. here, time to go. Have a good night, John. All right, Ted. We'll see you later. He's probably already gone. Have a good night. Tell Ed I said hello. Cool. Let me know how to purchase. Okay. Yeah. I'll let you know, Mopar Nut. Battery. Year 2020, not this video. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Amin says, I love Mopar. Bumblebee is my favorite. I love this transformation and his chemistry with the Cookness Prime is amazing. Okay. Eric, another hacker in the house. Yeah, it kind of looks like it. Mopar Nut. I'll take both 6 and V8. Room for one more dart, and swapping an engine is easy cake job. Eric says, I had a puke yellow 74 Valiant with a slant 6. All right. Mopar Nut says 74 Valiant where? Oklahoma says, good night, guys. I've fought off the inevitable for as long as I can. Okay, man. Have a good night. Later, Southern. Mopar Nut. Tony Mopar Hack. King. Uncle Tony put a slant 6 in the Miata. Yeah, I saw that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. At first I thought, why would you do that? And then after he did it, I was like, it's actually kind of cool. I kind of like it. But anyway, all right, guys. It looks like Mopar Nut and Eric, you two are the last ones on here. Everybody's split, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. We'll catch you guys later, and have a good night.